Come along with me as I update my kids, my student logbooks. I've shared about these on my blog and here on YouTube, so I will leave links to those down below if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about them. But they really are a sanity saver for me and help my kids stay on track. So as you can see, they are looking a little ragged and torn, so it's time to update them and clean them up. My fifth grader here also is no longer going to be doing handwriting and math facts. So when I make her new sheet, she will not have those on there, and we will be adding in Spanish. As you can see again, here's my son's. It's fallen apart. It's been well used for the first half of the semester. So I'm going to start with my fifth graders, my student logbook, and I'll update hers. So it's really easy. In the very front of the student logbook, there are several different, actually quite a few of these checklist sheets that you can use. You just rip it out, and then you're going to trim off the edges, and the instructions are on each of these sheets, so you will always know exactly what you need to do. And then after you've trimmed that off, you're going to fold it in half. Now, one of the great things about having so many of these checklists is that you can change things as often as you want during the school year. Or like me, I just change it, twice. So usually in the beginning of the school year, I do one checklist for them, and then in the second semester, I'll make another one. Sometimes I'm not really changing anything. I'm just giving them a fresh one to start with, and other times I am, eliminating some things like here with handwriting and math facts that we are no longer doing, and then adding in Spanish. So it's just very versatile. You've got a lot of options on how you want to use it. I use it for 3 of my kids as a checklist where they are checking off the assignments as they do them each day, and then my 7th grader uses it as a grading sheet, and so she writes in her grade as she completes each assignment for each day. So right now I'm just writing in all of the subjects that I want my 5th grader to be doing this second half of this school year. I will be leaving off handwriting and math facts, like I said, because she's not going to do those the second half of the semester. And I will be adding in Spanish because we are going to start doing that. I'm just going to count and make sure that I got all of the subjects that I'm having her do written down, and then I'm going to tape it into the appropriate spot. So you can get my student logbooks dated or undated. I have a dated one, and so this is the next week of our school week, and so I'm going to tape this checklist into this week. The great thing about this is that the following week, I don't have to rewrite a checklist. She'll just flip the page, the next page over, and slide it under that little flap, as you'll see in just a minute. So as you can see, it didn't line up quite as nicely as I had hoped. I must not have folded it in the exact spot. So I'm just going to trim this little bit off so that it doesn't overlap onto the boxes for Monday. So let's see how that fits. Okay, much better. That lines up a little bit better. So now we're going to tape it in. And here is the funny thing. When I went to update my student logbooks, I realized that my children had used up all of my Scotch tape. So I am learning to be flexible, and I'm just going to, I'm going to try to use packing tape if I can figure out how to rip it off the right way. Boy, Scotch tape would be a lot easier than this, but hey, this is real life, and I'm using packing tape, and it's trying to make do here. So I'm going to cut my packing tape. Obviously, you won't have to do this. You would just use Scotch tape, and it would be a whole lot easier, but I'm cutting my packing tape in half here, and then I'm going to tape down this new checklist. Now, I've been using my student logbooks for, I want to say, over 5 years, and this year I asked if they would send me 2 of them for free in exchange for sharing them with you, and then I purchased the 3rd one myself. So it's that easy. It's taped on, and now it is ready to go. Look at that old one and now the fresh new one. So each week she will just flip over the next sheet like that, and the checklist with all the subjects that she needs to cover is right there. I don't need to update it or do anything else. So I'm done with my 5th graders, my student logbook. It's time to move on to my 3rd graders, my student logbook. So as I am writing out my son's checklist, I am realizing that I forgot something here, not only for my son, but for my 5th grader, and that is that we are only doing Spanish 1 time a week. So I'm going to write 1X there just to let them know that they're only supposed to do it 1 time each week. And this is really great. You can put in this section how many times a week or how many minutes you want your child to be working on a particular subject. So that's a nice little column that they have in there. Finished with that one, moving on to my 7th grader, my student logbook, and hers is the one that is being used to keep grades. I'm going to count and make sure I got all of my 7th grader subjects listed. And then my 7th grader is not doing vocabulary every single day. She only does it once a week. So I'm writing that in that extra column there, just as a reminder to her that she only does that once a week. Literature, I am writing the word rotate. That's because we are rotating between the BJU Press literature curriculum that we're using, and then after she does a unit in that, she reads a novel of her choice. And so that's just a reminder to rotate between that. Now I'm going to wrestle this tape one last time so that I can attach this to the appropriate section or date that we are on, and get this all ready to go. And then I'll have all 3 my student logbooks ready for my kids. I also have a 1st grader that I am homeschooling right now, and she does not have a My Student Logbook. I have found that kindergarten, 1st grade, and even sometimes my 2nd graders, they just do better with just a generic checklist that I print off each week. I'll insert a picture here so that you know what I'm talking about. But I have found that my student logbooks are a sanity saver and such a help with my older kids. They can use them as a checklist. They can use them to keep track of grades, and really it's very versatile. So absolutely love them. Thought it would be fun to show you kind of how I update them in the middle of the year. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you again really soon. Bye-bye.